I gave myself 24 hours to 100% LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Now, for those of you that have played this game before, I know what you're all thinking. Wow, this is gonna be so easy. This game has half the levels the first one had, and all the collectibles are super easy to find too. Well, hold up there, buckaroo, because for me, this is my first time playing this game ever. And since when did any game ever make any collectibles in it easy to obtain? So that's why in this video, we're gonna try to 100% LEGO Batman 2 for the first time, and as an added challenge, I'm giving myself only 24 hours to do so. Can I do it? You'll have to see. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's get straight into the video. As we load up the game, click on slot 2 since I tried out the game on slot 1 already, start the timer in the completely wrong spot, and get into the first cutscene. And this is where I already have a problem with the game, as this game literally has unskippable cutscenes the first time around. Like, I get wanting to show off all the hard work that you put into the game and wanting to show that you got the same voice actor for Lex Luthor as the animated series, but I just want to get into the game, man. I don't want to be sitting here watching through all these cutscenes in full. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the actual game plan for this run. As if you guys watched my first LEGO Batman 24-hour challenge video, you'll all know that in that game, I went through the entire story first trying to get all the superhero statuses and as many collectibles as I could the first time around. And that's essentially what I'll be doing in this game too, but there's a slight issue with that, as you're not actually able to get all the superhero statuses in every single level on the first run through of this game as easily as the first one. As literally in the first level in this game, even if you manage to try and collect every single stud there is to collect, you still barely make it to superhero status, and that was just painful to see. So I just went through the entire story and tried to get as many as I could, and after finishing the story, which took about 6.5 hours to complete, I managed to get the superhero status in 7 out of the 15 levels in this game, which meant I was gonna need some backup, and by backup I mean stud multipliers, which meant that I needed to find the specific red bricks that unlocked them, as every red brick in this game unlocks a special ability in the extras menu, unlike the first game where you could just outright buy them in the Batcave. And since this was my first time ever playing this game, I needed a faster way to find these red bricks, and I'm not gonna hide it, I did use a guide. Yes, I'm sorry, but there really was no other way to complete this if I didn't have it, so allow me. And also, I didn't realize how easily it was to navigate the map, okay? It was my first time playing the game. But after we find both the ×2 and 4 multipliers, as well as the attract studs brick, we now start our journey in 3 places, starting with the first level called Theatrical Pursuits. And as you can see, after about a minute into this level, I managed to get the superhero status right away, which I really should have expected, but surprised me at how fast I got it, because at this point, I only had ×8 multiplier, and I didn't think it'd be that fast. But regardless of that, I did actually get all the mini kits before the superhero status, as that's when I realized I couldn't get it without the multipliers. So yeah, but let's go over them now, shall we? The first mini kit is relatively easy to get, as the hood of the Batmobile is shining purple, which means that you need to use Lex Luthor to destroy it, and luckily enough for us, we managed to get him before starting all of this, so we use his gun in order to destroy the brick to reveal the first mini kit in the level. The second one is equally as simple, as we attain it by blowing up 3 of these metal objects found under 3 of these tables with Batman's explosive suit. The third one spawns in after using Robin's acrobat suit to throw a stick into one of the holes in the wall, so he's able to swing on the poles in order to get to it. And yes, I didn't use Superman for the most authentic experience. But after that, we get to the 4th mini kit in this level, which is found right after Riddler does his little dance, as we use Superman to break this lock on this door and use Cyborg to pull this object off the shelf to break a hole in the ground, leading us to a completely different room where we play an organ in order to make the 4th mini kit appear on the ground in front of us. And again, just like the first game in the series, this is literally not an organ whatsoever. The 5th we find behind here, which I somehow missed on my first run through of the game, and the 6th by using Lex's gun on this thing, which brought down a little horse ride from the sky, and after riding it all the way to the end, the mini kit spawns above us. The 7th is found by using Batman's batsuit to destroy this glass, and then using Superman's heat vision to destroy this coin, which spawns in the mini kit. Next up is the 8th, which did take a little bit of searching around, but eventually I did manage to find it by using Superman to fly all the way up here to collect it. But after that, I did manage to glitch the hell out of the Two-Face cutscene by just using Superman to fly into it, as usually Two-Face kicks this guy onto the chains, but in this cutscene, he just jumps around his own, which I found so funny. But after beating up Two-Face, we managed to find the 9th mini kit by using Robin's athletic suit once again to swing on these poles in order to get to it, which was one of the simpler ones, but very easy to miss. And finally, we get to the 10th mini kit in this level, which is probably the easiest to get if I'm being honest, as in the Joker's boss area, all you have to do is destroy 3 of these windows with the Batarang, and you get to the last mini kit just like that. A little easy for the last mini kit, I have to say, but I guess they can't make all of them hard. And after that, we beat up the Joker, zip out of the window, and that's the first level fully completed in about 30 minutes time. And yes, it did take that long because I was also focused on trying to get a superhero status, because as I mentioned before, this was before I had gotten the multipliers. With the first level completed, we now move on to the second level in the game called Harboring a Criminal. And only like a minute into the level is where we get the superhero status, which is amazing because that just gets out of our hair. And like a few seconds later, we managed to find the first mini kit already, which was just using Superman's laser vision to destroy this object object for it to spawn. The second one did take a little bit to find because for some reason I wanted to destroy everything, but essentially you break this light to build a bike that you ride all the way to the right following the stud, and the mini kit spawns in at the end of the trail. We find the third and last mini kit in this area behind here near the ladder on the left, which is the most obvious spot that I somehow missed. And after that we find all the pieces to rebuild the helicopter and move on to the next section, which is pretty easy as it's a vehicle section. And if any of you watched my last video, you know all you have to do is shoot things and you get everything you need. It's not that hard. But after we get the one mini kit in this section, we get to the final section in this level as we get the fifth mini kit by driving this Batmobile mini car to spawn in the mini kit. The next one is achieved by destroying all 4 of these cars around the area, and the last one we get by driving this tractor after a little bit of struggle, and by a little bit of struggle I mean struggling to drive up this ramp for almost 2 minutes. But after we finally park the tractor on the ramp, the last mini kit spawns in, and with that we're done with the level, as after that we can just exit and finish the level with everything collected in about 40 minutes. I know that is long, but we did it anyways. But this now brings us to the third level called Arkham Asylum Antics. Now this level as a whole wasn't that big of a deal as most of the mini kits in this level were pretty straightforward to find, but this is a level where things start to get a little difficult for us, character wise I might add. As for 2 of the mini kits in this level, we need a character that's able to walk underwater, like this one for example, where we build this level to open the door underwater, and unfortunately for us, Harley Quinn or any of the characters we have right now aren't able to do what we need. So at this point I was pretty much forced to exit the level after collecting a couple of the mini kits and find Killer Croc in the overworld, as he's able to walk underwater and also he's a strong character, so he's very useful to us for the future. And just so you all know, I'm pretty sure I've explained this already, this game isn't like the first where you can just go to the Batcomputer in the Batcave and buy any character that you want. No, you actually have to go into Gotham City and search for these characters. Now I will say that the game does make it easier by giving us these pinpoints on the map showing us exactly where they are, so we can just fight them directly, but I had to essentially guess where the person I wanted was, and luckily for me I was able to find him pretty quickly. But later on in this run we'll get to levels where it's literally impossible to complete without a certain hero, but we'll cross that road when we get there. But now that we've located Killer Croc, all we have to do is use Robin's water suit, clean up the poison so Croc actually spawns, beat him up for a bit until he surrenders, and bribe him with 125,000 studs for him to be on our side for the night. And now that we have a character that can walk underwater, we're able to go back into the level, play through it all over again, and finally get the 2 underwater mini kits. But of course it wouldn't be a Lego Batman 24-hour challenge without the game crashing 24/7. And yes, this has already happened multiple times in this run already when checking if I was still recording, but this in particular was the most painful case because now I had to replay the entire level over again for the 3rd time. And after we do that, we get both mini kits again along with the last couple that we needed to fully complete the level, which weren't too hard to find. And with that we complete the 3rd level in about 36 minutes, which isn't the amount of time I wanted to spend on this level as it's one of the smallest ones in the entire game, but it did, so it is what it is. But the 4th level is up next, with the first mini kit in this level being in a very obvious place. I have no idea how I missed it on my first run through, but I did. And the second one being in Killer Croc's cage, but I couldn't get it the first time around because I had no one who could fly, but this time I had Superman to get it. And after Superman gives Croc a quick smack to the face, we get to the 3rd mini kit, which was just behind this door, and that's where Killer Croc comes into play because he can walk underwater and is a strong character. And thank God we had him when we did, because if we didn't have him I would have lost my mind. The 4th we get by using Joker's buzzer to make a portrait of him start laughing, and the next by using Green Lantern to punch a hole into the ground to get the 5th mini kit. But when I attempted to get the 6th, a little issue made itself known. Let me explain. So in order to get the 6th mini kit, you need to use the Penguin's penguin to walk through this igloo into Mr. Freeze's cell and blow up the glass so we can enter the cell to collect the mini kit. But for whatever reason, the penguin just didn't want to go through the igloo. It would just either bounce off the igloo or almost go inside and just walk back out. And after about a minute or so of trying different things, I decided to alt tab to see if maybe this would fix it. And ultimately it made things worse as the game ended up crashing. So everything I just collected was for nothing, as I had to go back and recollect everything all over again. So I went through the entire level for the 2nd time collecting everything, and when I got back to the section it still didn't work, even with the game restart and all. So I took a quick pause to look up what the hell was actually going on, and I finally found an answer on Reddit. And this may be the strangest bug I've ever encountered in a video game ever, as instead of releasing the penguin into the igloo head on, you need to do it from the side at a 90-degree angle, and it'll just go inside the igloo like it's supposed to. I'm more confused watching it back now than when I actually did it in the run. Like, it looks so weird, but nevertheless it managed to work, and we were able to finally get the 6th mini kit in what seemed to take like 10 minutes. But unlike the 6th mini kit, the 7th on the other hand was pretty easy to get, as we just used Harley to jump across the athletic poles in order to reach the mini kit. But now this is where a really big issue lies. So remember before where I said that there was going to be a moment where we would need a certain hero to collect a mini kit and we'd cross that road when we got to it? Well, the road is here now and we're about to cross it, because if you look on the monitors in front of us, you can see that there's a little painting of Joker on it. And in order to get one of the mini kits in this level, level, we're gonna need some water to wash away that paint. But the only problem is that we don't have access to Robin's water suit in here. And yes, I did try the whole restarting the entire level and trying to bring Robin's suit from the beginning of the level to here, but in order to get the mini kits, we were gonna have to clean up 5 of these things, and by the end of the level, we didn't have enough water in the tank to make it happen. And I know you're telling me, well, why not use the waterfall to fill up on water in the next section? Well, I tried that and got screwed over because apparently this was literally the only water source in the entire game that didn't allow Robin to fill up on his tank, even though he's literally knees deep in the water. But that's where that hero that we need comes into play, as the only other way to shoot water, not only without a suit, but unlimitedly, is with Aquaman. And of course, the first thing that I did was leave the level, this time with saving the progress that I had, and tried to find him in the overworld with, of course, with the help of some online research. And to my surprise, heroes aren't unlocked the same way that villains are. As with the villains, you need to find these stations that locate the villains in question that you then beat up and buy for whatever stud amount they ask you for. But heroes, on the other hand, are more privileged than villains, as they're found through these gold doors that you have to build, and the only way you can build them is getting the required number of gold bricks in order to build it. And in Aquaman's case, I needed 70 gold bricks, and unfortunately for me, I only had 38. And yes, I did lose my mind when I saw this for the first time, because that means it would be impossible for me to find everything on this run through since I don't have Aquaman available, which means that for now, I was gonna have to skip that mini kit and any future ones until later when I actually have Aquaman unlocked, as I went through the rest of this level finding all the other mini kits I could get and the hostage along the way, which was pretty easy to get. But me being an absolute moron decided to just click save and exit the level instead of save and finish, which means that I needed to play through the level again from the checkpoint for anything to actually count. So I went on and did the level again for I don't know how many times I played this level at this point, but after I collected everything I could, I was able to get 9 out of the 10 mini kits, including the hostage, which I honestly didn't like, because thinking about having to replay some of these levels again even though free play is unlocked just didn't sit well with me, because I'd rather have the freedom to collect everything right away after beating the entire story and have that feeling of completion instead of knowing that I'm gonna have to come back to this later. I guess it's a good incentive for the player to explore the main city for a purpose, but personally I didn't really like it for the main game, if I'm being honest. If it was something that I needed as a side mission in the city, sure, make me unlock a character to get it, but if it's something in a story level, I should be able to get it without any help of outside characters. I know some of you will disagree with me, but that's how I feel. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But now with that little rant over and done with, we now move on to the 5th level in this game called Chemical Crisis, where we managed to get like 75% of the superhero status in the first couple seconds of the level, and the first mini kit straight after that. The second mini kit is also pretty easy to get since we now have access to Superman as part of the level, with us managing to get the superhero status shortly after that. We then use Lex's gun to destroy this object in order to build a completely different object in order for us to get the third mini kit. And the fourth, we get a little more into the level as we have to use Superman's flying abilities to fly over these lasers to get to the other side. The rest of the section plays on as we did in the first playthrough, and when we get to the next section, we use Lex's gun once again to destroy this object in the wall, which drops a present, and when it opens, it spawns whatever the hell this thing is, which requires us to find 3 more presents to get the mini kit from it. But before we do that, we managed to find the 5th mini kit after using Superman's laser vision to destroy this structure in order to use Green Lantern's ring to build a spoon to stir the poison up for the mini kit to spawn in. We then find the 6th mini kit after destroying all 3 presents, as I skipped the second one as we found that during the initial playthrough. But the third is used by powering up this electric station and using the Joker computer to open this hatch, which drops the present containing the mini kit within it. After that, we get to the next section of the level and get the 7th mini kit by playing this little mini game, which for some reason was difficult for me to understand when playing it, but managed to do it after realizing halfway through what the colors represented. We then use Man-Bat's scream to break the glass, opening up the wheels and using Batman's Batarang in order to save the hostage from certain death. The 8th is found by using Poison Ivy's flower hatch in order to get the mini kit, and the 9th by using Superman to put out all 5 Lego fires with his freeze breath. And lastly, we get the 10th and final mini kit in this level by destroying all 5 gold objects with Superman's laser vision, of course, and that's Chemical Crisis completed in about 40 minutes time. Which brings us to the 6th level of the game, and the first half is just a vehicle section, and just like the last one, what do we do? Everyone say it with me now. Just shoot everything to get everything. Good. But this will not be the case with one of the vehicle levels coming up later. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But now, let's get to the second half of the level, as we only managed to get 2 out of the 10 remaining mini kits in this level from that section alone. So we still have a lot of work to do. The 4th mini kit is found almost instantly, as after you do this little mini game with the magnetic ball, you use Superman's laser vision to destroy these gold locks for the door to open and give us the mini kit. The 5th is found right after by using Cyborg again to drag this mini kit through the same way you did with the magnetic ball a few seconds ago in order to get it. On the 2nd floor, you use Poison Ivy's flower hatch to get to the front of the truck where the 6th mini kit is located. And the 7th is at the very back of the vehicle when you exit through the roof. We use Lex's gun to destroy the glowing bricks to reveal the mini kit hidden behind it. The 8th we find by moving to the very front of the truck, this time on the outside, and using Superman's laser vision to again destroy these gold bricks and collect the mini kit from within. The 9th mini kit is pretty simple to find, as we just move like 2 inches forward on the railings at the front of the truck and collect the mini kit at the very bottom. And finally, we find the last mini kit in the last section, where we just fly to the top and collect it, as on the way here we were able to see it from the top of the truck, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And that's the 6th level over and done with, as we were able to find the hostage at some point in the level. I don't remember when, but with that done, we now move on to the 7th level called Unwelcome Guest, and instantly we find the first mini kit right as we spawn in, as the object we spawn into is glowing purple, which means that we can just use Lex's gun to get the mini kit right away. The next mini kit involves Superman to put out these fires, which is pretty easy to do, and the third, of course, again uses Superman's laser eyes to destroy these gold bricks after the suit stand is destroyed by Lex in order to get the next mini kit. The fourth is the last mini kit in this section of the level, as it involves literally just flying up into the air as again Superman after getting onto this platform and shooting at Joker and Lex. We managed to get the 5th by destroying all 3 of these Joker cars that we find hidden throughout the Batcave in the other sections, which honestly weren't hidden well at all, as we find 2 of them literally out in the open and 1 behind some silver bricks that we blow up easily. The 6th we find by just using Man-Bat's power screen to break this glass, and the 7th we find by just activating the dinosaur by using Robin's athletic suit and using Superman's laser vision to once again destroy this golden object that contains the mini kit within it. And for the 8th and final mini kit in this level, we destroy this rock that reveals a question mark block, which of course means that for the very first time in this run, we will be using the Riddler to open the block and reveal the 8th and final mini kit hidden inside it, which means that we can say goodbye to Unwelcome Guests and hello to Destination Metropolis, the 8th level in this game. And we're just gonna completely skip over the first section of the level, since it's just a vehicle section, even though we literally play as Superman. But we are technically allowed to play as the Batwing, which is literally a vehicle. But the real reason why we're skipping it is because we did manage to get everything in this section on the first run through of the story, so there's really no reason going over it again. So let's get into the second half of the level, shall we? As right away in the opening, after defeating this jet fighter looking thing, we're able to use Lex's gun to destroy this wall and use it again on the floor to reveal 2 switches, and when stepped on by both characters, reveals the mini kit at the top of the ceiling, which we can get easily by using Superman to fly up there and collect it. The second one we get after fighting with the mechanics of this game trying to get on this platform by using Man-Bat's scream to break this glass and get the mini kit from within the wall. The third mini kit we get by using Lex's gun again to destroy this object on the floor, revealing some lantern bricks that we build by using Green Lantern's ring, which builds a hammer that hits the wall, revealing the mini kit. We then get the next 2 in this side room by using the Batarang to light up all these switches on the wall at once, which opens up the mini kit in the center of the room, which we get by using the vehicle that we just built from the stuff we just destroyed in the room. And for some reason, this one just spawns in the entrance for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but hey, I'll take a free mini kit any day of the week. Next up is the 6th, which we get from destroying 3 of these things, batteries I assume, as the first was near the start of the level and the other 2 were in these 2 side rooms. The 7th is also found in this room after playing some Space Invaders on this machine, which is so cool by the way. And the final one is found on this wall with the use of both Lex's gun and Superman, along with the hostage in this level, who is found at the top of the ship with the use of Cyborg's magnet powers. And with that comes the end of the 8th level in this game and the arrival of the 9th, known as Research and Development, where right off the bat we gotta get this robot out the way because it's just gonna be a pain trying to collect everything while the secretary is still spinning around like a lunatic shooting bullets everywhere. But once the robot is taken care of, we're able to find the first mini kit right next to the escalators on the left by using Superman's laser vision for the 80th time, and the second by using Lex's gun to destroy whatever this is supposed to be to build a jetpack, I guess, in order for the mini kit to spawn in. We then use Green Lantern to build some green bricks we find after destroying some objects in this room, which spawns in the mini kit right away. And then we reach another hurdle, being this hostage, which if you guys can see needs saving from poison, and the only way to do that is by using Robin's water suit, which of course isn't available in this level, which means that we're gonna need the help of course Aquaman. So that's another level on the list that we're gonna have to revisit on our third replay. But other than that, we managed to find everything in this area that we could, other than the hostage of course, and we make our way to the next section, which overall wasn't too bad, as pretty much all the rest of the mini kits in this level need the use of Superman's laser vision or flying or Batman's explosive suit. But I will mention that along with the hostage in this level, Aquaman's assistance will be needed in order to get the final mini kit in this level, as in order to get this one you need his water powers to clean up this poison, as of course Robin was never even used in this level in the story to begin with, so his suit would have never even been here. But with that, the level overall wasn't too bad, except with of course the need of Aquaman to actually complete the level fully. But after that, we get to the 10th level in this game. Yeah, we finally made it to double digits, can you believe it? But this level I'm gonna skip entirely because it's pretty much just a vehicle level, as most of the mini kits can be found during this flying portion, and the rest, when it does become normal again, are pretty easily findable with again Lex's gun and Superman's laser vision, with of course the odd mini game here and there. But overall, a really simple level that I don't think is worth going over whatsoever, especially with most of the level being vehicle based. But what is worth going over is the 11th level in this game, called Underground Retreat, as this is a much bigger level than the one before, and it's actually a level. But getting into the collectibles in this level, the first mini kit we find almost instantly, as we use the penguin to blow up these silver bricks, use this lever to release the minikit into the world for us to collect. The next two are pretty easy as well, as we just use Lex's gun to get these bricks out of the way and use Superman to get one up here for free, and the next we use Riddler to open one of his boxes to get the minikit trapped inside. The fourth we get by using Poison Ivy's hat to get to the other side of the train, when I'm pretty sure we could have just flown over it, but we use that to then get to the next minikit by using Batman's invisible suit to pull this lever and release the minikit to collect. But of course we can't collect a free minikit without a struggle once in a while, am I right? And before I forget to mention, we do encounter some paint on the walls that we have to clean, but just like one of the levels before, we can't since we don't have access to Aquaman, so we're gonna have to come back later and collect this on our next run through. But after we collect the fourth minikit, we get to the fifth by just flying up here instead of grabbing it, and we get the sixth along with the hostage by using Lex's gun again to destroy these bricks, and use Superman to pull whatever the hell this is to free the hostage, and use Cyborg's magnetic powers to collect the minikit stuck in the train. The seventh we get in the very next section of the level by, again, who would have guessed it, Lex's ray gun to destroy these objects to build a movable object. And after using Flash's useless fast building powers to rebuild the objects we just used Lex's gun to destroy, we push the vehicle all the way down, which opens up the hatch to the minikit. But after this, we get onto the moving train section of the level, where we find both the 8th and 9th minikits pretty easily, as all you have to do is use Superman to fly above the train to get to this magnetic object that we use Cyborg to move out of the way and get the 8th within the car. And we get the 9th by just flying all the way to the front of the train and just find this thing at the top of the train for free. But of course, we can't say that this level is complete since the last minikit is only achievable after we get Aquaman, which will be later on. But now since we've collected all that we could in this level, we can now move on to the 12th level in this game called The Next President. And this level is one of the smaller ground levels in this game, and I'm not going to fully go over it like all the other ones, as all the minikits are pretty much in your face and how to get them. You kind of just have to destroy everything to find them all, and this level being one of the smallest in the entire game, that's not the hardest thing in the world. But what is hard is the very next level called the Core Instability. And I know you're all about to tell me, yo, didn't you say all vehicle levels in this game are easy and all you have to do is shoot everything to get everything? Well, yes, I did say that, but shooting everything isn't exactly made easy in this level. Rather, it's made for you to actually not shoot everything when trying to collect everything, as the whole crux of this level is to shoot the bottom of these statues to deal damage to the bot in order for the level to proceed. But if you do that every time you see them, the level moves on to different sections in the city, which means that you'll probably miss important objects that you need to shoot to get all the mini kits. Now, I'm not gonna go over everything you need to shoot, because again, it's a vehicle level, you shoot everything to get everything. That still stands no matter how hard the things are to shoot, but I will specifically speak about the final mini kit that we need. And when playing this level, trying to get everything the first time around, I did manage to get everything and tried my hardest to clear out everything in every section the first time around. But when it came time to get the last mini kit, I just couldn't find it in the final section. I literally drove around and around trying to find anything I could and shoot, and I couldn't. But it was only after my third run through of this level is when I finally managed to find it, after playing this level after what felt like hours, as all I had to do was shoot this golden car, which in the moment I actually didn't even know what I shot to get it. But when reviewing the footage, I literally shoot this car so many times and it never broke once. And even in this clip, I honestly thought that I shot the car right here since I got studs from it, not a mini kit. But apparently that wasn't the case, because in my third run through, I shot the car and I got a mini kit from it. But yeah, the level took about 20 or so minutes to complete, but it definitely shouldn't have taken that long considering it was a freaking vehicle level. But anyways, let's get back on track, shall we? As we move straight on to level 14, Tower Defiance. And this level overall, especially for a late game level, was pretty easy, as the only hard mini kit in this level I would say is the 5th one, because unlike all the others, it's just hidden behind a wall rather than being given hints as to how to get it. I would have said the 8th is sort of hard because you can't really tell what to do with these objects at first, until Alfred of course gives you a hint to use Man-Bat Scream to destroy the objects for the mini kit to then spawn in. But the biggest reason as to why I'm going over this level in the first place and didn't just outright skip it is because this is one of the levels that we'll have to revisit when we do get Aquaman, as yet again there are paintings on the wall that of course we can't get rid of without the help of Aquaman. But even with that whole struggle, that mini kit in itself is easy, as the paintings are easy to find. So my statement of this level being super easy mini kits wise still stands. But with that, we move on to the 15th and final level in this game. And most of you probably already know this, but it's literally the smallest level in the game next to the Next President. And that level at least had 2 sections. But this is just a straight up boss fight in one area, which meant that all the mini kits plus the civilian were going to be pretty close together, meaning that it wasn't going to take that long to complete. But apparently this game wanted to be bad to me for some reason, as I apparently managed to bug out the game, and I'm going to show you how. So in this boss fight, you break down the Joker bot and then fight Joker, right? And after you manage to beat up Joker, Lex comes down and uses his ray gun to try to hurt you, and the goal is to break the laser to destroy these bricks so you can use them to build a control panel for Robin's athletic suit, so you can control a laser in the sky coming from the watchtower in space to defeat Lex. Now the problem is that instead of letting CPU Lex destroy these bricks during the final stage of the boss fight, I totally forgot this even happened and just went around using my own Lex Luthor and destroyed all the bricks myself and built the control panel before the boss even happened. But when I did this and the final part of the boss fight came around, the real Lex was just in his massive robot just sitting there, and I couldn't use the watchtower laser whatsoever whenever I put Robin on the control panel. So that forced me to restart the entire level again, and I did the fight the way it was intended to be played. And while I was doing this, I realized that I was missing 3 more mini kits. So after beating Lex, I searched around, somehow missing this Joker box that I should have gotten when I was putting out the fires with Superman, and then realized, oh shit, this game is really stupid, because in order to get the last 2 mini kits, I'm gonna need Aquaman for whatever reason. So not even in the final level of this game are they gonna let me get everything with this squad that I have. But after I collected the final mini kit that I couldn't level, I exit the level and take a look at my findings so far in this game, as after going through all levels twice, both story wise and in free play, I managed to collect 144 mini kits, 4 red bricks, which was in the overworld, and 58 gold bricks, with the citizens probably being at 15. And the only way to get the remaining mini kits is to acquire Aquaman, and if you guys remember, the only way to do that is by unlocking him through the golden doors somewhere in Gotham, which takes 70 golden bricks to build, and we only have 58. And at this point, I'm not even gonna go over the next 12 bricks that I found, as all I did was save citizens in the city and do some building challenges, as every time you save a citizen you get 1 brick, and there's like these obstacle courses that you can do in order to get the mini kit at the end. It's a lot. But after doing all of that and getting a few heroes along the way, we finally get the desired 70 gold bricks that we need and finally unlock Aquaman. And after that, we go into the remaining levels and collect the final golden bricks that we need, but there's shooting water everywhere, and we finally 100% Lego Batman 2's main game in 15 hours, 46 minutes, and 29 seconds. Now, I hear you asking, well, you just said the main game, but you didn't collect all the side stuff. What about those? Well, I'm about to get into that. Now, in about 16 hours, I was able to collect all the mini kits in every level, get 4 red bricks, get the superhero status in every single level, 76 gold bricks, and about 20 or so civilians, since the timer is covering the number. Now, this means that I'm gonna have to go out into the main city and find every gold brick, every red brick, every civilian, as well as the remaining villain and hero characters, as well as the vehicles, which I didn't even mention yet. Now, I know it sounds like a lot, cause it is, but the game does make it really easy to find everything, as within the pause menu, there's a button called View Map, and this shows the entire map of the city. And as you can see, when I press Y on my controller to scan the map, all these dots appear on the screen along with the golden doors. The red dots represent the red bricks, the purple dots represent the civilians, and of course the dots that take up most of the map are the yellow dots, and those are all the golden bricks that are scattered around the city. Now, I don't have to say this, but I will not be going through the remaining 500 things that I need to find, because at that point this video will literally be 2 or 3 hours long, and this video is already pretty long. So instead of going over everything, I'm just going to go over some of the problems I encountered when going on my final run through this game, collecting everything. Oh, and I get a sense that some of you may want to click off this video at this point, but I did forget to mention that even after doing all of this, I still need to complete a secret level at the end to truly finish everything off. And I don't think you've noticed, but I pretty much only have 8 more hours to do all of this, so let's get back into it, shall we? Now, the first thing I will say is that all the villain characters and the vehicles were the easiest by far to get, as you could just drop a ping on the location and the radar on the top left will show you exactly where you pinged and you can get to it easily. But that's not the same scenario I faced with literally everything else on the map, as for whatever reason, anytime I dropped the ping on one of these dots, the ping just never came up on my radar on the top left. So literally for every single thing I needed to collect, unless it was a vehicle or a character, I needed to use Superman, who I literally used for the next 8 hours as a challenge, fly up into the air, do a literal 360 scan of the entire city until I finally found where I pinged, which is represented by a flashing light in the physical world, so I can fly over to it and collect whatever I needed to collect. And this may not sound hard, and it wasn't, but doing this literally gave me brain rot, as in order to 100% the game, I needed to do this until I collected everything, and this was probably the most grueling thing I've ever done in a video game, period. Like, this wasn't a fun thing to do. Now, I know for the Arkham games, you need to collect all the Riddler trophies across Gotham, and I know that's way harder, as you don't just get the locations for free on your map right away. And after doing this, I have massive respect to anyone that's done that in those games, because I was absolutely losing my mind doing this. But for the next 8 hours or so, that was my life, as I went from dot to character to vehicle and just did it, and I was just exhausted by the end of it. As probably the worst thing about this entire run were these building obstacle courses, as on pretty much every single building in the city, there were these platforming challenges where you go through this entire obstacle course to get to the gold brick at the very end. But the problem with this was that when you ping the yellow dot on the map, it literally pings the golden brick. So when you get to one of these challenges and the game forces you to actually complete it, you literally have to backtrack through the entirety of the course to the very beginning, as most of the time you're gonna need the first suit to beat it in the end, most of the time it being Robin's athletic suit to unlock the golden brick at the end with his control panel. But after putting myself through 6 hours of straight torture, I managed to find every red brick, save every citizen, and collect 249 out of 250 golden bricks, as well as finding every vehicle and villain with a couple of heroes still on the loose. And after collecting the last last golden brick in the city, the only thing left to do was play through the bonus level. And just like the first game, in order to beat it, we need to collect 1 million studs in the level. And this level, for whatever reason, took me almost an hour to beat. Apparently collecting all that shit throughout the city completely fried my brain so much that I couldn't destroy everything to collect everything. And I'm the one that calls the vehicle levels easy. And after we finish that level, we finally get the 250th gold brick, as we now have collected every single collectible in this game. And all we have to do now is go over to the remaining golden doors and collect the final characters. But that's not how it actually went, as when I did beat the level, it was around 4 a.m. and my mind wasn't straight. So when I beat the level, I didn't actually see I collected the final brick, and in my mind, I didn't actually get it. So I literally played the bonus level in free play for no reason, thinking that I would get it that way. But of course, I already had it, and I was just wasting my time at this point. And to add to that, midway through the level, my controller ended up dying. But thank God I had one of my old controllers in my closet, because if I didn't, I was screwed, because I had no idea how to control anything on keyboard, especially with the mental state I was in, still thinking I hadn't gotten the last brick yet. Even though right before I went into free play on the bonus level, I had unlocked Supergirl, who literally took 250 gold bricks to get. Yeah, my brain was that fried. But after plugging in my controller and beating the level in free play, I only then realized, when it didn't show that I had collected the brick already in the post screen, that I had already gotten it, as I pressed pause in the overworld, where it showed me that I had already collected everything. And with that, I went over to the final gold door in the game and unlocked the final character, which should have been Supergirl, but in my case, it was Martian Manhunter, as we stopped the timer with us 100%ing Lego Batman 2 in 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 26 seconds, as we try our hardest to get a cool cinematic image at the end, but it just didn't work. But that, my friends, is the challenge done and completed, and of course the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and yes, I know it did look like I didn't enjoy this challenge, and honestly the ending grind was really repetitive and not really enjoyable whatsoever. But I really did enjoy the main game, and as someone who played this game for the first time in this challenge, it was overall an amazing game. And for those of you that haven't played it and have played the first game, definitely give it a try. I really don't recommend trying to 100% the game in 24 hours, but it is a fun challenge regardless. But that begs the question, did I really 100% the game? Because when I pause it, it says 100%, but technically I never actually grabbed the last vehicle in the game, being Harley's motorbike, and I just stopped the timer before I could even remember about it. But I don't give a shit, because if it says 100%, it's 100%. I don't care. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.